What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Fitzy Friday. Sean Fitzgerald, one of the personal trainers here at the Upper Valley Aquatic Center. So, like always, go ahead, like, subscribe, try to spread the word as much as we can and, see how many kind of interests and kind of topics that we can kind of discuss about around our industry. And yeah, so here we go. So, we kind of go in and talk about certain areas that kind of surround our industry and kind of maybe some myths, maybe some trends that might be happening, kind of things like that, whatnot. So today we actually kind of just had a discussion a little while ago. So we were actually thought of bring it up here, and it was the new kind of trend that you guys see on like Instagram and you kind of hear about it is taking your pre-workout dry, right? So basically, if you take a pre-workout, you take your scoop, you dip it in, you throw it in your mouth, and then you just take a swig of water and or whatever you're drinking, and you just take it that way, right? So it was kind of this, seems like a phase that's kind of going on, and kind of be like, why are people doing this? So we're gonna kind of a little chit chat about it and see, what your thoughts are, what maybe some people are thinking, what it really does, right? So pre-workout, right? So if anyone doesn't really know, so we got your pre-workout is basically what, kind of break it down, is kind of like it's a vasodilator, right? So basically your blood vessels, within your body, they open and close, right? They expand, contract, like vasodilate bigger, vasoconstrict get smaller, right? So it's a constant open and close, right? Bigger they are, the more blood it goes through. Tighter they are, right? Less blood goes through. People that have headaches, you might notice this through the back of your neck. It's, you might be some of the, the blood, like it restricts, coming up, and then, you get a headache, things like that. It's a possible reason, things like that. But so what people have started to try to do is they need a little bit more in their workouts. They need a little bit more kick, a little bit more oomph. So pre-workouts started to become a thing, right? So when you look at a pre-workout, right, it's what's actually in it. So you are going to have pre-workouts that have your BCAAs, your branched chain amino acids, right, which that will probably be another topic that we'll go over, whether you need them or don't need them, things like that. You'll have caffeine, right? So because it is a energy supplier, right? That's why people drink coffee, right? You're going to have, some could have sugars in them. Some could have like some sodium. Like it's basically the issue is that each brand makes it differently, right? So that's kind of where we roll into what each person likes. There's different flavors. There's different ingredients. You can have loose. There's so much that can go on, and it's you kind of got to do your research, right? So that's where pre-workouts kind of came in. Is people needed a pick me up. They need a little bit more before their workout. They think that it makes them work harder and things like that. And then pre-works were developed, right? So a little back history of it. So now we're into a pre-workout. I take, some are 1 scoop, some are 2 scoops based off of 8, 10, 12 ounces of water. Kind of everything, it's based off of whatever the manufacturer, whatever brand kind of dictates what their needs, right? So what we're doing is we take our pre-workout. What happens is that our blood vessels open up, right? We vasodilate, they get bigger, right? More blood goes through our muscles. More blood to our muscles means we can work harder, we can do more, we can lift more, lift heavier, go stronger, go longer. We get some caffeine, we get some more energy, right? It's just kind of like, all right, we're flooding the body with stuff to make my workout bigger, badder, stronger, right? So cool. All right. Everyone mix it. That's why you got your shaker bottle, right? You see everyone, they're taking something. All right. Well, now the trend started to where, hey, I'm going to take this in my car and just scoop it through my mouth, right? So someone somewhere down the line thought that water dilutes the pre-workout. It's not as effective. If I take it dry, it gets into my body faster, tastes better, it's quicker, it gets my pump, faster than taking it. I don't have to take it the 20 minutes before I want to work out to kick in. I can just take it dry. So it's an interesting concept where, you're taking a pre-workout already, and then you're going to take it dry because you think it actually makes it faster to get in your system. So, but we're going to talk about there is nothing behind taking it dry or not. It's preference, right? If you don't want to take it with water, cool. You don't want to ruin your water bottle, cool. Taking it dry, literally, unless someone else has out there, but there has not been anything that prove that taking it dry is more effective than taking it mixed in your water, right? So some of the companies, they have flavors, right? Blue raspberry, watermelon, cherry, strawberry mango, right? Whatever they're trying to sell, right? You're gonna take that. Some of it does not taste good at all, right? I have taken pre-workouts, take a pre-workout, kind of, a little bit of hydration. Like mine's for a little different from what I'm doing, but you got to do your research, right? And be like, you know what? I want a pre-workout. Cool. That's your choice, right? Well, you're going to find that the flavors are either going to be good or they're going to be bad, right? Everyone kind of has their own palate and things like that. So you think about when you're in the shaker bottle, right? And you take a swig, like you're like, I don't know about the taste. Well, imagine taking that dry, right? You're taking that powder, and now it's just in your mouth dry because it's a powder. Now you're not going to be able to get rid of that taste, right? It's in your mouth. It's in between your teeth. Like, you're going to have to drink water to try to flush it out somehow. And then, it's kind of like if you guys ever had like a bad food or, like that burnt taste of like food, or if you've burnt corn or burnt like some piece of meat or something, and then it's like you could just taste it, right? Like so far down, like, well, that's literally probably like how you're going to taste your pre-workout, like randomly throughout the day or something, so so then you gotta take that and be like, all right, well, if I really like cherry, well, hopefully it tastes like cherry, because if not, it's gonna be pretty bad, right? So you're gonna take it in. You're gonna have to chug your water no matter what, right? Hopefully you've been drinking water before, so then you're at least somewhat hydrated. But all right, took my pre-workout. Like, I'm taking it dry because I think it gets into my body, in 5 minutes, and then I'm ready to go for my pump, right? Cool, awesome. If that's what you believe, then that's your choice and your opinion, right? So we're just here to kind of share some of the trends that are going on. So, but literally, you take a look that your pre-workout, dry or in a water bottle, has the same, like, there's no difference. It's just what you believe in, right? So, if you're going to take one, do your research, right? So you need to take a look at the caffeine, right? So that's where it's going to affect certain people, right? There are some pre-works out there that will affect you differently than it will affect me. Say I take, BSN, the NO Explode, right? That's one of the more well-known ones, right? So say I take it, right? And I just feel good. Well, say my lifting buddy, like you, right? Say you take it, you might jitter, get the shakes, right? Like, it affects me different than it affects you. So those are things that you will have to start learning and to adapt with. Some of them might say, hey, take 2 scoops per 8 ounce of water, right? Well, maybe I'll try with one scoop, right? Or, 1 scoop per 6 to 8 ounces or something, right? you know what, maybe I'll try 8 to 10, right? Maybe a little water it down a little bit, just because if you're not used to that high intake of caffeine right off the bat, like you might feel it, right? You might have some bad side effects. You might get headaches. You get the shakes, the jitters. You might feel like you're freaking out or something. So those are things that you're gonna have to play with, right? It's always better to take less than what it says on the label, because guess what? You can always adjust and add more, right? If you go all the way to the end, there's no coming back from it until it's completely out of your system. So it's always better to start on the low end. If it's 1 scoop per 6 to 8 ounce, I would recommend maybe 10 to 12. See what it feels like. Lower your water intake, and then if it says take 2, like event, up your scoops and things like that. But those are all things that you can do to take a look at. So, and you will look at different ones have different levels of caffeine. So some of them will kind of promote that has a lower caffeine intake, but it still will give you your pre-workout that you want. Those are something that you can look into. If you're going to be taking a pre-workout for work, and then if you're drinking like already a ton of coffee, you might want to consider maybe not taking a pre-workout, maybe just having a cup of coffee instead or something, So you just want to make sure that your caffeine intake is, it's in a healthy range to where you're not overdoing it, right? So, if you're drinking so much caffeine that you are having issues sleeping at night, probably where you want to reevaluate how much you're kind of taking. And then again, if you're taking too much and you just stop, like think of the crash, right? If you went, say, a couple of days drinking coffee like all the time, and then you stopped a couple of days, like, you had those headaches or things like that, those are the caffeine withdrawals, right? So you just want to be careful. Take a look at, how much caffeine do I intake already? Do I need to add more? Do I really need a pre-workout? After I try the pre-workout for, say, usually they're like a 25-day supply, right around a month or so supply. Usually the canisters are is it really even doing what I want it to do, right? So that's going to be the question. Is it getting what I want, right? Is it even worth me spending money on something to where I could just do maybe a cup of coffee or something, and it gives you the same kind of pump that you're looking for, right? So those are things that you all want to take into consideration. It's really kind of learn and figure out what works, what doesn't work. That's kind of what it's about. It's a journey, right? It's not a sprint race, it's a marathon. You're finding out what things work for you, just like your exercises, right? Like, maybe a certain exercise works for you here, but it doesn't work for someone else. It's the same thing, finding a pre-workout if that's what you truly want, right? So, again, dry pre-workout, just, if it's your choice, you want to do that, then have at it. But literally, unless new things are coming out recently, there has not been much to really prove that it's more beneficial than just taking it in your shaker bottle. So if it's something that you're doing just because it's to do it, that's all you. But really taking it dry is not really any difference than putting it into your shaker bottle and drinking it like 20 minutes before. So, I hope shared a little bit on the trend that we see going around that people are posting, and hopefully you guys can see that, hey, kind of you do and learn by your own experiences, and take a little bit here and run with it. But so, like always, go ahead, like, subscribe, and hopefully, we can get some topics coming in, and chit chat about maybe this one, and see what everyone's kind of thoughts are. But like always, if you're ever in the Upper Valley, don't be shy to come on in and chit chat with us and see what we got to offer. And like always, every Friday we'll try to figure out what's going on in the fitness world and see what we can take a look at. But it's Friday. I hope you guys are having a good one. Hopefully, it's the weekend, right? Coming on in. It's going to be a nice one here up north, So hope you guys get out, get to enjoy it, get to have some good food, get to go explore and do whatever. And, we'll come back and we'll get ready for the work week. All right, you guys enjoy. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one.